It's time for Northwestern Outdoors Radio, the show focusing on fishing, hunting, outdoor recreation, destinations, and conservation in the region where you live and play. Northwestern Outdoors is brought to you by Max Lure Company, Sportsman's Warehouse, Leupold and Stevens, Stehekin Valley Ranch, and Wallowa County. And now, let's see what's going on in the field and on the water with your host, John Cruz.
Welcome to the show. Have you ever been to the northwestern tip of the continental United States? You'll find it near the town of Neah Bay on Washington's Olympic Peninsula. Now, when most people think of the Olympic Peninsula, they tend to think of Olympic National Park and rainforest where it's very wet more often than not. However, there are some great outdoor recreation opportunities to be found here, and no, it doesn't rain all the time. And by the way, when it comes to outdoors recreation, we're not just talking about what's available in the national park. This week, we're taking you to Neah Bay, home to the Makah Indian tribe and the closest piece of civilization to Cape Flattery, that place which is as far as you can go northwest in the lower 48. I ventured there recently with Northwestern Outdoors pro staffer Rusty Johnston for a spectacular saltwater fishing adventure. We were fishing with light tackle in shallow waters just offshore from Cape Flattery, and the fishing was crazy good. Our guide was Tom Burlingame, owner of XL Fishing Charters, and he'll be joining us to recap our incredible day on the water, catching rockfish, also called sea bass, and toothy but fantastic tasting lingcod. Tom will also give you some tips so that you can catch some of these fish too, and he'll let you know about some other fishing opportunities for species like salmon and halibut. Now, it is a bit of a drive to get here for most of our listeners, and you're going to need a place to stay. Well, you're in luck, because we found a great place, and it's owned by Tom Burlingame and his lovely wife, Dora. Dora is going to join us to tell you about the inn at Neah Bay. It's clean, it's quiet, and the rooms are spacious. Better still, there is access to a nice beach with great views and tide pooling just across the road, and you're just a couple of minutes away from the marina in Neah Bay, where you'll be boarding Tom's boat, the Cabazon, in the morning for fishing. Now, Dora is also an avid hiker and an amateur birder. This area is rapidly becoming a destination for serious bird watchers because you never know what you're going to see here. Something I found out myself during this trip. There's more than birds to see here too. Dora is also going to tell you about other wildlife, especially out on the salt water that you can see, and about some of the fantastic world-class hikes to scenic viewpoints you can enjoy around here. In addition to this, there are several events in and around Neah Bay that occur during the year that may pique your interest, and we'll get Rusty Johnston's take on the trip too, along with a great recipe he has for some of those rockfish we're catching. Throw in our regular segments to include an extended Max Minute with Bob Loomis and your Sportsman Spotlight trivia question of the week, and we've got a fantastic hour of the outdoors coming your way. But first, David Sparks has got information about a long-time Northwest Outdoors clothing company with some interesting history.
I don't care how exciting your hunting or your fishing adventure happens to be. If you're cold and wet, it will turn into a miserable experience. There's a store up in Seattle called Filson's, and if you go to filson.com, that's Filson.com, you can go through their catalog and find some pretty nice outdoor wear that is high quality and fairly high end. Here's Amy Tarai with a little background on the company.
The company was founded by Clinton C. Filson, who came out to Seattle from Nebraska, and he started Filson Blanket and Manufacturing Company, and it was basically to outfit the miners going up to the Klondike Gold Rush. He specialized in really heavyweight Mackinaw wools to keep the miners pretty much like issued gear for the miners to get past the border. They needed a certain amount of goods and so forth, and that Filson's wool jackets were part of that package.
How did you make the transition from miners to hunting wear?
His idea, he was a great, smart businessman. He wanted to outfit and where he felt there was need to protect them from the harsh environment and the damp climate here. You know, outfitting the upland hunter and the waterfowl hunter as well as the fly fisherman.
It ain't cheap, but Amy says it's made in the good old US of A out of very high-quality materials.
This is David Sparks for Sportsman's Spotlight.
Auto steer and smart irrigation systems have revolutionized simplicity and efficiency in agriculture. Likewise, Quantix and AVDSS are a powerfully simple drone and analytics ecosystem for your farm, designed to help you make confident decisions easier. Developed by AeroVironment, a leading manufacturer for the U.S. military, Quantix helps you scout all your acreage from the sky. With the swipe of a button, its automated flight covers up to 400 acres in 45 minutes, delivering real-time, quick-look maps which can be viewed in your field. For deeper analysis, AVDSS transforms data into actionable insights to improve your scouting efficiencies and refine farming practices. Quantix and AVDSS. Crop scouting doesn't get any easier than this. Visit farmdronedemo.com to sign up for a demo in your area.
Marine Area 5 near CQ is open for a special Chinook salmon fishery from February 16th to April 30th, and Excel Fishing Charters is ready to take you out for a great day on the water. One of the great things about this fishery is the fact that you get to take home not one, but 2 blackmouth a day, and Captain Tom Burlingame has the knowledge and experience to help you get that done. Find out more about fishing with Excel Fishing Charters at excelfishingcharters.com. Book your trip now.
Welcome back to Northwestern Outdoors Radio. I'm John Cruz. We're broadcasting from the inn at Neah Bay, right at the tip of Washington State, the northwest tip to be exact. And with us here today is one of the owners of this inn, along with the owner of XL Fishing Charters, Tom Burlingame. Tom, we're going to talk about a great day you gave us on the water. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, John. Thanks for coming up.
I am glad I did, because this is one of the best bottom fishing experiences I've ever enjoyed in my life. Folks, let me set the table for you. We went out today to fish for rockfish and lingcod, and there was 4 anglers on the boat, and every angler came back with their limit of 7 rockfish and 2 lingcod, and we got it done in a hurry too.
Yeah, it was a nice day out there. Good sea conditions and a beautiful day.
Oh, it was a fantastic day. And, you know, we're going to talk about this later in the show, but one of the great things I really enjoyed, there's a lot of things I enjoyed about this today. Number 1, catching lots of fish in a hurry always comes to the top of mind. But number 2, the setting. I mean, we're out here, you know, you've got this unspoiled forest that's right before you. You've got all this marine life around you. You've got gray whales that are spouting off. You've got sea otters that are on their backs not far away. You've got all these seabirds flying around you. And the fish and the fishing was off the charts. I've never actually done bottom fishing like this before. It was light tackle, and it was fast and furious.
Yeah, that's kind of our specialty, John. People really enjoy this trip. You get to see a big variety of fish. You just never know what's coming up on a bottom fish trip, and it's just a real enjoyable day.
Well, I want to talk about the variety of fish, because most people say you're going on a bottom fish trip, and they think, oh, I got sea bass and lingcod, and it's like all the sea bass look the same, and the lingcod are the lingcod. But we caught all sorts of different rockfish. We caught black sea bass, as they're called, or the black rod fish. We caught blue rockfish. We caught one beautiful vermilion rockfish that's a bright orangish red. And then we caught these China rockfish that were just gorgeous too.
You bet, John, and we didn't scratch the surface. There's over 20 varieties of rockfish near shore. We saw a lot today, but we didn't see nearly what we can.
And the lingcod too. I mean, the shortest one we had was 24 inches. I think the longest one was, you know, getting close to 3 feet. But again, quite a few of those in the water too, and those are some of the best eating fish around.
You bet. Those near-shore fish, they're almost translucent when you fillet them. They're just beautiful fillets.
So let's talk about how we were getting it done. And before we get into that, we need to talk about the fish themselves, because usually on a bottom fish trip that I'm used to, you go somewhere, there's usually some structure down below, and there's some sort of hump, and the guides say, well, I've caught them here before, so this is where we're going. And you drop down on the hump, and you do your best, and a lot of times it's really deep, and you're using really heavy gear. But this was different. You were relying on your electronics, because what you taught me today is the rockfish that are here today may not be here tomorrow.
You bet. Rockfish move a lot. Most people think that they're a stationary fish. They'll be in the same areas every day, but they actually move a lot in a tide. So some days you'll find them on this hump, and some days they'll be a quarter mile away on that hump. You just got to keep looking around, using your electronics until you see them, and then you want to fish.
Well, and that's the other thing. Those electronics, they really stand out. When you find them, you know you found them, in two different ways, too. Again, they're bottom fish. Everyone thinks you got to catch them on the bottom. But most of the time today, these rockfish were distributed throughout the entire length of the water column.
Absolutely. We call it bottom fishing, but that's kind of a misnomer. These fish are through the water column. You'll actually see them rolling on the surface sometimes like we did today.
As a matter of fact, that was fantastic. When I saw those bass rolling on the surface, I was thinking, oh, those are just the small ones, until a 4-pounder came up and tried to grab my jig as I was reeling it in, and that was one of the fish on the surface. I would have loved to have had a big bass popper or, like a big spoon or something like that. I would imagine if you had the time, it'd be a ton of fun just surface fishing for these.
Absolutely. I've even done fly fishing trips when they're rolling on the top like that, and that is a real kick.
Dry flies?
You bet.
No.
Yeah. They'll take them. They'll hit almost anything.
Well, we were using flies today on conventional tackle, and I guess that's what we should talk about next, is the setup you used. The basic setup that most people use for bottom fish, rockfish in particular. It's a curly tail grub or maybe a double tail grub with a big lead head jig, and that was not what we used today.
No, I use, on our nearshore trips, I use a diamond jig that I pour myself. It's from the Do It Company, and it's a 4-ounce jig, and we put a hook on that, and we'll put a shrimp fly up above it. In Washington, you can fish illegally 2 hooks, so that's what we do.
And those shrimp flies, they got some color on them. The one series was red, white, and blue. The other was a kind of an orange-red. Those really worked. As a matter of fact, quite a few times, we had fish hooked up on both.
Yeah, you'll get 2 at a time quite a bit, and the color of those shrimp flies really doesn't matter. What matters more is the movement. That's what attracts a fish.
I see. So the shrimp fly color was just for me as the angler.
You bet. That's the colors that I had.
Well, it worked. And again, this light tackle fishing, we were fishing anywhere from 30 to 90 feet deep. It was fun. You go on some of these bottom fishing trips and you are just dog tired lifting up that rod. Lighter rods, lighter tackle, a lot more fight with the fish too.
You bet. And the great thing about Neah Bay is you can fish close to home. You could be fishing as much as 10 minutes out of the harbor. We went quite a ways today because I wanted to show you some ground that is just beautiful to look at. But you don't need to do that. You can stay pretty close to home and be successful.
And even with the boat trip that we took today, where you did show us some beautiful scenery, where we got to, again, catch these rockfish in, we were done by 10:30. There was 4 of us. We all had our limits of rockfish and lingcod by 10:30. Now, I know you can't guarantee that every day, but it sounds like this is not uncommon.
No, today was a normal day. Some days it's a quicker trip, and some days it takes us a few minutes more, but it was a pretty normal to be done by that time.
How long does this season last? When does it start? When does it end for this nearshore rockfish lingcod fishery?
Our season this year ran from April 16th, and it ends on October 15th, so we can fish all summer long on the near shore and still get lingcod.
Folks, I would highly recommend this. No matter what your skill level is, no matter what your experience level is, you're going to like this. The boat's a very comfortable one. It's the cabazon. You can get in, out of the weather. There is a head inside that's enclosed, so if you need to use a restroom, you can do that. Very fun boat to fish off of. One other thing I want to mention before we go, though, is that even though you do a lot of bottom fishing, you do salmon fishing, too, and you have a winter fishery and a summer fishery.
Yes, we do. Our summer fishery is this year going to open on June 23rd, and it's scheduled to run through Labor Day. And then we have a fall fishery this year that we haven't had in the last couple of years, a coho fishery at CQ that we can access from our port here at Neah Bay. And then the winter fishery you were talking about is our blackmouth fishery, and that is also at CQ.
And the great thing about the blackmouth fishery, now, you might not be hearing this right after we broadcast this. This is such a great experience. We're broadcasting this more than once, folks. So check the regs. But a lot of times in this winter fishery at CQ, you get 2 blackmouth, and that's uncommon to get that. And if you book during an odd-numbered year for the summer or fall fishery, you can get into the pink salmon, too. So you're taking home not just the cohos, but the pinks.
Yeah, that's right. Odd years for pinks.
Bottom line, folks, this was a wonderful trip. Definitely in my top 10 for saltwater fishing trips, and perhaps the best bottom fishing trip I have ever enjoyed. By the way, Tom's a great guy to spend a day with on the water, too. Very friendly, very patient with people like me, which I always appreciate, and a lot of fun. If you want to find out more about booking a trip, whether it's a bottom fishing trip, whether it's a salmon trip, the website to go to is excelfishingcharters.com. It's spelled EXCEL, fishingcharters.com. These bottom fishing trips, by the way, are very affordable, and if you need a place to stay, the Inn at Neah Bay is a wonderful place we'll tell you more about during this show. Tom, thanks for a great experience today and for sharing it with our listeners on Northwestern Outdoors Radio.
Well, thank you, John. I'm glad you could join us today.
Marine Area 5 near CQ is open for a special Chinook salmon fishery, and Excel Fishing Charters is ready to take you out for a great day on the water. One of the great things about this fishery is the fact that you get to take home not one, but 2 blackmouth a day, and Captain Tom Burlingame has the knowledge and experience to help you get that done. Need a place to stay? Excel Fishing Charters can help you with that, too, because they also operate the Inn at Neah Bay. Find out more about fishing with Excel Fishing Charters at excelfishingcharters.com. That's EXCEL fishingcharters.com. Book your trip now. You're back with more of the great outdoors on Northwestern Outdoors Radio with John Cruz.
It's time for another Max Minute.
Fish on!
Brought to you every week by Max Lure Company. With me again is Bob Loomis. And Bob, you've got several packages of smile blades laid out here in the studio. But I got to tell you, these smile blades look a little different than the ones I'm used to seeing. What's up?
Well, these are a little different. These are our brand new UV Diamond series that we just brought out. The base color is a high UV background with a diamond sparkle on top of that high UV background. So they work fantastic for a lot of different styles of fishing, whether it's, fishing colored water, whether it's for fishing, clear water and trying to attract fish from a long distance away. They'll work fantastic for a lot of different things.
So what about clear water situations? Would this actually work against you? Because it looks like these are going to give off quite a bit of flash.
No. What you would do is you would downsize, go to just a touch smaller blade than what you generally would if you're fishing real clear water. But what you want, obviously, is because of the high UV as well as that diamond sparkle that's on there, you're going to be able to attract from further away.
And that's really the name of the game, is getting those fish to your lure. Further away they can see it, the more successful you're going to be. So look for the brand new UV Diamond Series Smile Blade in stores near you. When is it going to hit the shelves?
We just got them, so they're just starting to hit the shelves right now.
And are they available online?
Yes, they are.
All right. MaxLure.com. If you can't wait, MaxLure.com for the UV Diamond Series Smile Blade. Brand new product. Check it out.
Are you looking for a game changer to help you catch more trout, kokanee, and salmon? No problem. Just tie on Max Crip Lure. Cast it or troll it. Either way, its specially designed ring chamber emits a low-frequency vibration with its erratic movement. It will catch more fish and make them strike. Better still, the different colors for the lure can be matched to just about any fishery. Look for the Crip Lure from Max Lure Company at a sporting goods store near you or go online at maxlure.com.
Sportsman's Warehouse is America's premier outfitter and has the quality gear you need for hunting, fishing, camping, and more. Our knowledgeable and friendly staff will help you find the right product so you get the most out of your time in the field or on the water. In addition to stocking superior clothing and outdoor equipment, we offer in-store events and seminars so you can enjoy a successful adventure. With over 70 stores located in the United States, it's easy to find a Sportsman's Warehouse store near you. Find out more at sportsmanswarehouse.com.
Go fishing, help salmon, and make money. You can do it from May 1st through September 30th by catching northern pike minnow and turning them in for cash. Here's how it works. First, register at a designated station on the Columbia or Snake River. Then, go fishing. At the end of the day, turn in any pike minnow you catch 9 inches or longer and look for the ones with tags worth $500. You'll get vouchers for those pike minnow you turn in, and you mail those in for cash. Find out more at pikeminnow.org.
Welcome back to Northwestern Outdoors Radio. I'm John Cruz. We continue to broadcast from Neah Bay, and we have been fortunate enough to be the guests of Tom and Dora Burlingame. They own XL Fishing Charters and the Inn at Neah Bay. Dora, thank you so much for a wonderful stay. I've absolutely fallen in love with the Inn at Neah Bay.
Thank you. We're glad to have you.
Well, we're glad to be here, and that's because there's a lot more to do here than just fishing. Now, don't get me wrong. I just came back from a great fishing trip with your husband, catching all sorts of lingcod and rockfish. But something else I really enjoyed about that trip was the scenery and especially the wildlife. And you've got a lot of wildlife around here. And I guess we'll start off with some of the marine life I saw, and I'm guessing other people are going to enjoy too. You know, just going down to the marina in Neah Bay, there's bald eagles everywhere. There's sea lions barking at you. As you're heading out from the jetties, you're seeing loons that are in the water. And then you turn the corner and you start heading towards Cape Flattery, and you're seeing everything from gray whales to even sea otters. I had no idea there were sea otters around here.
Yes, we have quite a few.
In addition to that, you have quite a few birds. One of them that I thought I saw, you're going to have to tell me if this is what I saw or not. I thought I saw a puffin out there.
Yes, the puffins are back. We have tufted puffins on Tatoosh Island.
Well, and that's exactly where I saw them, so I guess I was in luck with that. But those aren't the only birds that are around here. As a matter of fact, I understand Neah Bay has become quite the birding destination because you get some real oddball birds that show up here from time to time that just don't show up anywhere else in North America.
That's true. A few years ago, we had the Eurasian hobby falcon show up in Neah Bay, and people came from all over the United States and even the world to see that one bird.
In fact, your husband Tom was telling me that people were so psyched about seeing this single bird that was here for about 3 weeks that you had guests nonstop for about 3 weeks.
That is true.
What was your furthest guest away from?
New York and Central Canada.
That's absolutely amazing. All here to see one bird. And that's not the only bird that doesn't belong here that shows up here. You've had some other ones show up too, haven't you, that have attracted a crowd?
Yes, we have. The black-legged kittiwake has attracted a lot of people. The white-winged dove recently has attracted quite a few, and just a variety of other birds.
Even last night, you know, you have the beach that's right across from the inn here. And folks, you do get access to the beach. That comes with this. You're right across the street from it. I'm walking down there with my camera, and I see a couple of ducks. And it's like, that is the strangest looking duck. And I go ahead and photograph it. I'm thinking to myself, I've seen this duck before, but not anywhere in the Pacific Flyway. And sure enough, it was a blue-winged teal. Now, I don't know why that blue-winged teal is here near Cape Flattery and Neah Bay on the Pacific coast instead of Colorado where it belongs, but that's just another example of some of the strange birds you see around here.
Yes, that's true.
All in all, because of this, for whatever reason that this area attracts these birds, you're getting quite a few people that come here just for the birding and just for the wildlife watching anymore, aren't you?
Yes, we are.
And when it comes to mammals, I mean, do you have bear, do you have elk, do you have anything like that people see, or people mainly focus more on the marine life in terms of the seals and the sea lions and the whales?
I think they focus more on the marine life here. We do have several herds of elk in the area that are commonly seen. We do have black bear, but they're quite shy and rarely seen, as well as other wildlife.
Well, let's turn our attention to something I know you enjoy doing. You've got some world-class hiking trails around here. And one nice thing, if you come here, folks, is they've got a great little guest book that tells you about all the things you can see and do here to include the hiking. And there's probably 3 hikes we need to talk about. The first one's to Cape Flattery, which is the most northwestern point in the continental United States. Tell our listeners about that.
Yes, Cape Flattery is a beautiful, beautiful location to visit. It's a short trail, about 3/4 of a mile long. It is a hiking trail, not a walking path, but it's worth it, and it's just a spectacular view.
Oh, it really is. As a matter of fact, we were in the boat right below where the platform was at Cape Flattery, waving at them. They were waving at us. It was really neat. But there's also something else that's really cool, I understand, Shy Shy Beach.
Shy Shy Beach is a beautiful, secluded beach. It's a 2-mile hike to get there. Part of it is a bit muddy, but it's doable. And at the end, it's a fairly steep hill down to the beach, but they have recently built some stairs, so it's safer than going down on ropes as we used to do.
And last but not least, Lake Ozette. Tell our listeners about Lake Ozette and the hike from there to the beach.
Lake Ozette is a beautiful lake, and from the Lake Ozette there are two trails that triangle off from there. One goes north to Cape Alava on the ocean, and the other goes south to Sandpoint on the ocean. To do the 9-mile triangle, you hike 3 miles along the ocean. It's absolutely beautiful out there.
And for all of you geography fanatics out there, Cape Flattery, the most northern-west point in the United States. Cape Alava is the westernmost point in the United States. So you can get both those off your bucket list in one trip here at Neah Bay. The other thing that I really liked about this area, because again, we saw it from the water, is how unspoiled this is. You're not going to see any houses out here. You're not going to see any telephone lines, any power lines. I mean, it is gorgeous. Is this part of the Olympic National Forest, Olympic National Park, Makah Tribal Land? I mean, why isn't it developed?
Parts of it are in the Olympic National Park, and other parts are on the Makah Reservation.
Well, it's definitely drop dead gorgeous. So take this all together, folks. You've got these hiking trails, you've got this old growth forest, you've got these spectacular views of unspoiled wilderness, and then if you're out on the water, or if you're just looking out of the water, you have all these opportunities to see marine life and lots of birds too that you're not going to see otherwise. Great reasons to come to Neah Bay besides the great fishing. Now, let's turn our attention from all this fun stuff to your inn, because this is a wonderful place. And the pictures I saw at the Sportsman Show don't do it justice.
Thank you. We have 4 rooms available, and it's a very unique inn. It was built by Ken and Nita Welliver and decorated by Nita Welliver. It was originally the Kingfisher Inn, and Nita put just her own artistic touch on the place. There's some beautiful murals that she painted, and each room is decorated in a different theme.
Not only is each room tastefully decorated in a different theme, the beds are super comfortable. Thank you so much for that. And they're very spacious. There's a fridge in each one. There's a microwave in each one. There's areas to sit. Most of them have a television where you can go ahead and watch something if you want to, or you can go upstairs to the common room and play a board game, or pick up the set of binoculars that are out there and look out at the Strait of Juan de Fuca and watch the cruising ships go by, or maybe watch some of that marine life and some of that bird life that we've been talking to. But this truly is a gem of a place. You keep it really nice. We're definitely going to be back. Are you open all year long?
Yes, we are.
Last but not least, I also understand for those people who are coming here for the fishing that if they book a trip with your husband with XL Fishing Charters, that there's a discounted rate to stay here.
Yes, if you're fishing with us, we offer a 20% discount on the rooms.
If you're looking for any other reason, I think that ought to do it for you. The bottom line is this. Check out the inn at Neah Bay. You can do so by going to the XL Fishing Charters website. Really simple. XL, spelled EXCEL, fishingcharters.com. That's xlfishingcharters.com. Tom and Dora are the owners of the inn at Neah Bay, and whether you fish or whether you hike or just want to enjoy a wonderful wilderness outing and see some wildlife and bird life, the inn at Neah Bay is a wonderful base camp. Dora, thanks again for the hospitality, and thanks for sharing all of this with us today on Northwestern Outdoors Radio.
Thank you for coming.
The road is calling you to experience one of Oregon's 7 wonders, the Wallowas. So grab your family and spend some time exploring Northeast Oregon's Wallowa County. Visit the state park at the head of glacier-carved Wallowa Lake. Travel the Hells Canyon Scenic Byway. Feel the pioneer spirit, Nez Perce history, and see our Western arts and bronzes. Ascend to the top of Mount Howard on the tram and you'll see why Wallowa County is one of Oregon's most scenic and adventurous vacation wonders. This summer, take the road that leads to wonders. It begins at WallowaCountyChamber.com.
Backcountry hunters and anglers, the men and women working hard to keep public lands in public hands. Check us out at backcountryhunters.org.
You're back with Northwestern Outdoors Radio. I'm John Cruz. We've been talking about fishing and outdoor recreation near Neah Bay in Washington State at the northwest tip of the lower 48 of our nation. In addition to the rockfish and lingcod fishing that we told you about earlier in the show, there's other fisheries that happen around here too. One of them is a winter salmon season out of CQ. That's just a few miles away from Neah Bay. Now, dates vary, but it usually starts anywhere from mid-February to mid-March and runs through April. And this is a good fishery because unlike a lot of other fisheries in Puget Sound where you only get to keep one hatchery Chinook fish, here you get to keep two. You'll want to come back in the late summer, too, because traditionally there's a very popular fishery in the CQ area for coho salmon and during odd years for pink salmon as well. Halibut's also an option out of Neah Bay in May and June, but there are only a few select dates available, and you usually have to book a trip with a guide a good year in advance, sometimes even two. There is a caveat to everything I've said about all of these salmon and halibut seasons, and that is this. Be sure to check your rigs. Don't just hop in your car and drive out here during the time frame I mentioned because fish abundance varies from year to year, and so do the seasons. And it's not just about fishing, hiking, and wildlife watching around here either. As a matter of fact, the Makah tribe and others put on several events in and around Neah Bay you'll want to know about. One of them is their Eagle Festival in late April. That's when the folks at Neah Bay herald the arrival of the bald eagles when they pair up and build their nests. There's guest lecturers and eagle-inspired art featured at a time when the eagles are concentrated along the water's edge and throughout the area. And I can tell you, there are a lot of bald eagles in Neah Bay. The 4th of July is popular here as well. There's a parade, a fishing derby, there's an art show, and a whole bunch more. And of course, it wouldn't be a 4th of July without a fireworks show in the evening. There's another day you can see the fireworks too. That would be during Makah Days. That's the weekend closest to the 26th of August. This is a 3-day event and includes a talent show, canoe races, a salmon bake, traditional and modern dances, Indian gambling games, and that fireworks show is on Friday night for that 3-day event. Finally, there's the Hobuck Hoedown. This takes place the first weekend in October. It's a surf kayaking and longboard surf competition. Takes place at Hobuck Beach right on the Pacific Ocean. And it's your choice whether you participate in it or just watch the competition. Should be fun either way. If you want to find out more about what's happening around Neah Bay and about the services available there, just go to the Chamber website. You'll find it at neahbaywa.com. That's neahbaywa.com. We continue to broadcast from Neah Bay, and my fishing partner during this adventure is Rusty Johnston. He's been a longtime pro staffer with Northwestern Outdoors Radio. It also helps he's been my best friend since we've been 13 years old. Rusty, welcome back to the show.
Great to be here, John.
So, Rusty, you and I and the boys from Idaho, Raymond and Nate, we had a great time fishing with Tom today with XL Fishing Charters. What was your take about today?
Oh, it was an absolute great day bottom fishing inshore, so we weren't that far off, and the fishing was just phenomenal. We had a great time, a lot of sea bass, some nice lingcod, and just fast and furious fishing, and the weather conditions were great.
Oh, they were. You would never know you were on the Pacific Ocean, as flat calm as it was out there today. You know, you've done a lot of bottom fishing in your time in various places, from Baja to California and off the Washington coast. This was your first time bottom fishing off in Neah Bay. What did you like about this experience?
Well, I think the best thing was, it wasn't a whole lot of traveling. I mean, in the boat. I mean, we did drive a long way to get here, but it was just a fun, relaxing day of fishing and great company.
It was great company. And again, we will admit it. You know, if this was a college football game and it was the Washington State Cougars, us, versus Boise State, them, Boise State kind of won today. They caught more lingcod and they caught bigger rockfish than us, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. We kind of couged it today.
However, Raymond, Nate, if you're listening from Grandview, Idaho, we'd love to fish with you again. You were great company. Something else I really enjoyed about the fishing today was the light tackle experience. That was just such a joy compared to the way I've done bottom fishing so many other times in the past.
That's exactly true. It's been so long since I've bottom fished, but all my years of bottom fishing in the past have been, heavy lead, big rods. You don't get a whole lot of fight out of them. I mean, they're not monstrous fish, 2 to 4 pounds. The lingcod were a little bit bigger, but we're using lighter tackle. It was an absolute hoot.
Oh, it was. And, catching, basically think of them as sea bass, folks. That's essentially what they are. And catching 2 to 4 pound fish at a fast and furious clip all morning long, it is a ton of fun. And, we were releasing the 1 pounders. We were just keeping them for 2 and above. And so we got 14 rockfish between us, but we released just as many.
Oh, easily. And, sometimes since we're using the jig with the shrimp fly above it, there were sometimes you had 2 fish on at one time.
Yep, we sure did. Both of us did, and so did everybody else on the boat. So, great fishing trip, but now we've got the fish back, and they're getting vacuum packed. We're going to take them home, and this is what I want to talk about now, because you've got some experience in the restaurant industry. You've been a restaurant manager. You know how to cook a great fish plate, whether it be walleye, whether it be salmon, or whether it be rockfish. I understand you've got a dynamite recipe people want to know about when it comes to sea bass or rockfish.
Well, it's a basic recipe. It's just, an egg wash, and then in the flour, a little salt and pepper. And I actually do a little thing where I'll put a little bit of pancake batter mix in it. It just adds a little bit of sweetness, and then just fry that. I like my butter, so I use butter, and just pan fry it, or you can bake it if you like. And about halfway through, after you flip it, I'll put a couple some shaved almonds on the top.
Why do you do that?
Well, the almond releases its oil when it heats up, and it adds another little hint of flavor, and it really adds to the fish.
In terms of condiments, are you a tartar sauce man? Are you a lemon man, or something else? Mangoes, maybe?
No, not a big tartar sauce fan, which my wife hates me for, but I just kind of like a little bit of lemon drizzle over the top, and just puts it to the edge.
Well, it sounds like it's easy enough to make, sounds like it's easy enough to remember, and it sounds like it's going to be really tasty when we do this for our rockfish in a couple of days.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's been a while since I've had rockfish, so I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I think you and I need to make plans to come back here to Neah Bay and to fish with XL fishing charters again. Again, folks, like I said earlier in the show, this might be the best bottom fishing experience in terms of just pure fun that I have ever had.
Yeah, me too. It was a great time, and yeah, I'm ready to come back anytime.
If you want to find out more, folks, here's the website for you, xcelfishingcharters.com. That's EXCEL fishingcharters.com. If you're looking for a place to stay, the Inn at Neah Bay, it's just outside the town of Neah Bay. Wonderful accommodations, and I think you'll agree, this has been a wonderful place to stay, Russ.
Oh, yeah, it has been an absolute great place to stay. Accommodations are wonderful. The place is clean and well decorated and just very comfortable.
Clean, quiet, spacious, great view of the Strait of Juan de Fuca, and we're right across the road from the beach. There's access to the beach. Go on down there, bring a camera, explore some of the tide pools. There's sea anemones and all sorts of other stuff to see down there, to include some wildlife too. Again, it's XL Fishing Charters is the charter company. The Inn at Neah Bay is the place to stay, and the website to find out about both is xcelfishingcharters.com. Rusty, great to have you aboard for this trip, and thanks for the great idea on how to cook up these rockfish.
Thanks, John. It's been wonderful to be here.
Go fishing, help salmon, and make money. You can do it from May 1st through September 30th by catching northern pike minnow and turning them in for cash. Here's how it works. First, register at a designated station on the Columbia or Snake River. Then, go fishing. At the end of the day, turn in any pike minnow you catch 9 inches or longer and look for the ones with tags worth $500. You'll get vouchers for those pike minnow you turn in, and you mail those in for cash. Find out more at pikeminnow.org.
Stehekin Valley Ranch may well be one of the most spectacular places to visit in the lower 48. Located at the headwaters of Lake Chelan in Washington's North Cascades, we can only be reached by boat, plane, or foot. Stehekin takes back simple pleasures and adventures. Hike, fish, kayak, ride a horse, or just relax while soaking in the views. You can do it all at our family-owned ranch. Book your summer stay now at StehekinValleyRanch.com. That's StehekinValleyRanch.com.
Sportsman's Warehouse is America's premier outfitter and has the quality gear you need for hunting, fishing, camping, and more. Our knowledgeable and friendly staff will help you find the right products so you get the most out of your time in the field or on the water. In addition to stocking superior clothing and outdoor equipment, we offer in-store events and seminars so you can enjoy a successful adventure. With over 70 stores located in the United States, it's easy to find a Sportsman's Warehouse store near you. Find out more at sportsmanswarehouse.com.
We've got time for one more shot of Northwestern Outdoors Radio with John Cruz.
I'm glad you're back because we've got some upcoming events to tell you about. If you are a Saturday listener, it is a free day to visit a state park in Oregon, and you can camp at one today too. It's also Oregon's free fishing weekend, and it's better than that. This weekend, both Saturday and Sunday, you don't need a license to fish, to clam, or go crabbing. But wait, there's more. Saturday the 2nd is a free fishing day in Wyoming, too. That's right. Whether you're in Wyoming or Oregon, no license is required to participate, and that includes out-of-state residents, too. Another event happening in Oregon, in Albany to be exact, is going to take place next Saturday, June 9th. That is a fishing derby sponsored in part by the Albany Sportsman's Warehouse. It'll kick off at 7:30 a.m. It's open for kids from 4 to 12 years of age. There's going to be lots of giveaways, lots of prizes, and the first 300 kids get a goodie bag. You can find out more details at the Albany Sportsman's Warehouse store. Heading to Gillette, Wyoming, there's a couple of events going on Saturday the 9th there too. From 2 to 3 p.m., there's going to be a fly tying demo, and from 4 to 5 p.m., there's going to be a seminar on GPS essentials. Heading to the Sportsman's Warehouse store in Nampa, Idaho, you'll want to sign up for the Archery Basics course they're having on June 9th from 2 to 3 p.m. The store's archery lead is going to spend an hour with 5 individuals on the basics of shooting techniques. Please bring your own bow, arrow, and release, and you will be a better archer by the time you're done. If you're not into archery hunting and maybe you're more into modern sporting rifles, from 3 to 4 o'clock at that Nampa store, there's going to be a basic AR-15 class. So if you're thinking of buying an AR-15, this would be a good class to attend. And now, it's time for your Sportsman's Warehouse Trivia Question of the Week. Washington's Olympic Peninsula is home to a very large elk herd, and these elk are big too. Not only are they the largest type of elk in North America, but they're a different subspecies than the Rocky Mountain elk found in most of the nation. Do you know the name of this elk subspecies found only west of the Cascade Mountain Range? We'll give you a hint. They are named after one of our presidents. If you know the answer, go to our Facebook page. You'll find it at Northwestern Outdoors Radio. Look for the post and give us your answer after you like our page. Or if you prefer, go to our website at northwesternoutdoors.com and let us know the name of the elk species, or the subspecies, I should say, that is found on Washington's Olympic Peninsula and named after one of our presidents. One person who guesses right will win the $25 gift card we give away every week from Sportsman's Warehouse. We've got to wrap things up, but if you didn't catch all of our show, you can go ahead and hear it on demand at your convenience. A couple different platforms. Our new one is Stitcher. We remain on Podbean. Either one, just look for America Outdoors Radio. We're also on YouTube. Just subscribe to Northwestern Outdoors. That's one word for that one. We'd like to thank our hosts, Tom and Dora Burlingame, again. They are wonderful people, and if you go fishing with Tom, you're going to have a great time. The Cabazon's a comfortable boat to fish from. Tom knows his stuff, and as you heard during this show, the fishing can be very good. As for Dora, she keeps the home fires burning at the Inn at Neah Bay. If you want to find out more about the Inn at Neah Bay and fishing with Tom Burlingame, just go to excelfishingcharters.com. That's excelfishingcharters.com. You'll have a great time with them. We are out of time, so until next time, take care, God bless, and make it a point to spend some time outdoors.